Oh, seriously? At least the mag lock's back. Man, I just nicked one of them. You got to hit these plates high or they don't go down even with 40. I love these pistol caliber pistols. All right, let's do this with a random reload. Neither of these mags are full. Oh, that's it. That was crazy fun. Woo. 40 definitely hits harder than 9mm. Thank goodness, because these are really hard targets to knock down on these plate racks. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Twang and Bang. It is kind of tricky trying to figure out what you're going to call this because it's a pistol variant of a pistol caliber carbine. And it should look familiar to followers of the channel because it's the 4th such variant from CMMG that I've featured here on the channel. It was originally called the Guard, but since they offer so many different variants, they've now split that into 2 different lines. The Banshee line with the short barrels like you see here, and the Resolute line which has 16-inch barrels and longer. This time CMMG sent me their 40 Smith & Wesson Banshee. It's a chambering that's been requested by their law enforcement customers who already have a big investment in 40 Smith & Wesson. And that's really who this is for. This is for the shooter that already has a big commitment to that caliber and not necessarily someone just getting started out or already into 9mm. For those people, I recommend their 9mm variant. It is one of the best suppressor hosts I've ever shot. It's a fantastic little carbine / pistol, depending on which variant you get. What makes this and actually all of them such great suppressor hosts, it's their proprietary system of delaying the blowback so that more of the noise and gases leave through the barrel and silencer and less come through the ejection port into your face and into your ear. The radial delay blowback system, regardless of caliber, is just something that you really need to experience for yourself. And that's why the 40 Smith & Wesson Banshees was coming up next on Twang and Bang. CMMG first introduced their radial delayed blowback system with the 45 ACP Guard back in 2017. And since then, they've added 9mm, 5.7, and now this 40 Smith & Wesson in their new line of short-barreled firearms they now call the Banshee. This is the Banshee 300 series, which includes an ambi safety selector, ambi charging handle, and your choice of 14 different Cerakote colors like the midnight bronze seen here. The 5-inch 4140 chrome moly steel barrel sits under a 4-inch M-LOK handguard with integral finger stop. It's factory threaded 5.78 by 28s to accept common 45 caliber silencers like this rugged Obsidian. The upper receiver is straight from an AR, including a functional forward assist that's missing on many other pistol caliber carbines. Below that, you can see the generous mag release that easily drops mags from the massive Glock compatible mag well. The 300 series Banshee pistol comes standard with CMMG's new Rip Brace, an adjustable system based on SB Tactical's excellent SBA3 pistol brace. It allows rapid one-hand deployment to full extension or to any of 3 other positions depending on the placement of the included travel stop set screw. The Banshee pistol weighs a scant 4 pounds 10 ounces and is only 18.9 inches in length with the Rip Brace collapsed. Though the bolt carrier looks straight out of an AR, that's mainly because it rides inside a standard AR upper receiver and thus needs to have the same external dimensions, including this tiller in place of the gas key. I'm going to link to another video where I go over this system in great detail, but in short, the bolt lugs are cut at an angle, and this angle is what delays the blowback of the action to keep the chamber sealed against escaping gas significantly longer than would happen with a straight blowback action. Each caliber takes a ton of development time because the angle of these cuts determines how much the blowback is delayed. If they're cut at too much of an angle, the action opens too fast, and that defeats the purpose of building a delay into the action in the first place. If they're cut too shallow, the action won't open fast enough, leading to reliability problems. It becomes a balancing act between the two to ensure that the action will operate reliably with all of the vastly different loads that might be popular for any given caliber. I've talked to these guys a lot about this, and so much of this simply comes down to a lot of trial and error at the range. So if you're wondering why they don't offer your favorite pistol caliber yet, 10 millimeter, cough, cough, this is why. The RIP brace is basically an SB Tactical SBA3 pistol brace, which is currently my favorite brace, matched to a proprietary receiver extension with ramps on the holes for each position. This allows a locking pin inside the brace to easily pull rearward out of each hole, but not push forward. If you don't want to fully extend the brace, you can just stop where you want and then it'll be fine to shoot. However, it will obviously lengthen if you pull it again, whether that's on purpose or by accident. That's why they also incorporate this set screw. You just put this where you want the brace to stop and you'll have very quick, repeatable length for bracing the pistol every time. That said, I think the vast majority of shooters will just want to run this fully extended. Look how small that is. That's so awesome. Oh man, every single one of these shoots so nice. That radial delayed blowback system, they really hit a home run with it. I don't blame them for just rolling these things out caliber after caliber. I mean, this is the third video that's been on my channel about one of the guards. Well, this is technically a Banshee, but same thing with the radial delayed blowback system. You really, if you've not shot one of these things, you really need to see. It's a big difference. Just runs like a champ. And the bolt carrier group, you can get a weight kit for it to tune it, but it runs fine with the rugged Obsidian and all the ammo that I've been running through it so far. So I don't think I'm going to even try any weights. I like it stock just the way it is. But if you have trouble with the cycling, you can add weight to it and tune it for the combination of ammo and suppressed or unsuppressed, whatever you're running. Got some Winchester Ranger 135 grain hollow points to see how they run. If anything gives these guards a problem, it would be a big open mouth hollow point like this. Let's see how it does. That's quite a crack. Ran it like a champ, baby. That is sweet. Way louder than the 180 grain Full Metal Jacket stuff that I've been running, because it's subsonic out of this barrel. Let's try that again, a little faster this time. No issues. I'll tell you, it does get a little bit gassier, but I think that probably is where adding a buffer weight would help, because it will slow the opening of the action. I think in the end, I probably should have brought some weights with me to try out, because that would certainly reduce the amount of gas that would be coming out of the ejection port. But it's still way less than shooting a lot of pistol caliber carbine suppressed with defensive ammo like that. This is a really, really good combination with a silencer. Now we're going to try some good old-fashioned Winchester Ranger SXT, which stands for same exact thing as the original Black Talon. These are 165 grain. Let's see how they do. Wow, those are screaming out of there. I can definitely feel, this is the biggest recoil impulse out of everything I've shot so far. If this works, this is definitely what I'm going to keep loaded up. That is sweet. No problems. Regular big face jacketed hollow points. The new Black Talon, the SXT. This had no problems with either of them. That's awesome. Now I'm going to try some ammo that's downloaded to about 950 feet per second, 180 grain. So it's not full power 180 grain, which is actually already subsonic, but it's like right at that maybe transonic area in the velocity. This is going to be well below that. Let's see what it sounds like. Oh, that's nice. No problems. I haven't had this bobble anything. Nothing. CMMG just keeps hitting home runs, and the 40 Smith & Wesson Banshee was no exception. I think it's a really good match for other firearms in the caliber, especially Glocks, of course, because it will take G23 mags on up. I was really impressed with the fact that it'll run subsonic range loads all the way up to smoking hot defensive loads without having to tune anything, and it's just as reliable with all of it. That is a very tough nut to crack for blowback systems, and I know that is what keeps CMMG's designers up at night. Well, they successfully did it in the 40 Smith & Wesson Banshee. Of course, you still have the option of adding weights to the bolt carrier, but know that that is an optional accessory and it doesn't come included with the gun. The CMMG Banshee starts at an MSRP of $1249.95. You can learn more about it at cmmginc.com. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can see the links right here. And be sure to sign up for my mailing list because it's the only surefire way to stay in touch with me no matter what happens to my content here on YouTube. I really appreciate you watching Twang and Bang, and I hope to see you next time.